I'm Dave Bolt, managing editor of TXGARAGE.com. We're with Clark Campbell. And Clark, exactly what do you do for Volkswagen?
I'm actually the general manager of Experiential Marketing, so I look after all the facets of motorsports, auto shows, enthusiast events, vintage cars, anything to do with the customer hands-on experience.
Is that 52 weeks?
Every year.
And you're here in Dallas with the Global Rallycross. Tell us a little bit about Volkswagen's involvement in Global Rallycross.
Well, we're here actually at the Volkswagen Andretti Rallycross team. It's an organization that's made up of our partner Michael Andretti operates a team with Volkswagen's support and assistance on our cars. We run the Volkswagen GRC Beetle in the series. The series has been around about 5 years, sponsored by Red Bull. And we have two cars in the series. With the driver behind me, you'll see the Rockstar Energy Beetle from Tanner Faust, a famous TV television host and stunt driver. And currently we're leading the championship points this season for us. And over on the other side we have Scott Speed, a former Formula One NASCAR driver and very talented driver. He was last year's champion. He's a three-time X Games gold medal winner in this sport as well. So we're here in Dallas, first race of this series in Dallas, and we're at Fair Park. And we're hoping for a really good result today here in Dallas.
Being product-oriented and having a long association with the Beetle, I'm a fan of the Beetle, but I'm still curious, how did you decide on the Beetle as your competitive car as opposed to a Golf GTI or something else in the portfolio?
Good question. It was me.
Okay.
I came down to, I was pretty much argued against by everybody in my company, but the reason I wanted to use the Beetle is the Beetle's been winning Baja races and off-road races since 1967. It's won more off-road races than any other brand you could think of when you look at that kind of a perspective.
Right.
Sandrail buggies and all those things as well, from Myers-Manx dune buggies till today. And we're winning the World Rally Championship in a polo overseas. I wanted to take the transfer technology, but what I was worried about was using a hatchback car in America with graphics and a wing and some wheels on it. Maybe looks a little bit like some of the other competitive cars. So obviously this iconic shape of the Beetle, everybody from a 6-year-old fan to a 90-year-old fan will be able to point at that car and say, that's a Volkswagen, that's a Beetle, and there's no doubt about it. So for the first set of cars we put in the series, we decided to use the Beetle.
You sound like a very strategic guy, Clark.
I am, I'm a marketing guy, but I'll try to do a little strategery every now and then as well.
Okay, so from a perspective of not liking to assign gender to a car, I hate the guys who call a Miata a gal's car, hate the guys who call a Beetle a gal's car. Although I understand you've come out with a pink one in a limited edition.
Yeah.
But does this kind of man up the Beetle?
Absolutely. In 2012, we redesigned the Beetle from the original new Beetle we had out in 1998. That had a very feminine aura to it. Had the bud vase with the famous flower that we had from the 1950s versions. But in 2012, we redesigned the Beetle to make it a bit more masculine. It has a lower roof line. It's a little bit wider, a little bit more stout. And we decided that masculinity leads to a different buyer perspective as well. And we don't alienate anybody by doing it. It's just a different look to the car. But the Beetle's got such a persona and character, from everything from Herbie Lovebug to Max, our Beetle, famous Beetle from the commercial days, to what you see on the street from California to New York City. That we could do a pink version, and it doesn't really matter. People will gravitate to that pink version. They'll gravitate to Tanner's Rockstar car. They'll like the black one we put out. It's such a wide market. We've got the Beetle Denim here, actually doing a ride drive this weekend, along with our new car, the Beetle Dune, which both of those are color concept designs designed to bring in a different character, a different facet of the community out there.
Off camera, we were discussing, you're doing this not only for the live eyeballs in the stadium itself, but social media also.
Correct.
What are the ramifications on the digital side?
Well, this series is, is a little bit different from some of the other professional forms of motorsport. A lot of this is driven by social media content. We can take a 6-second clip of this race this weekend and get 100,000 hits on it. We're posting on Twitter. We're getting 1,800 hits an hour right now. We posted social media content before the race weekend. We're at 700,000 people have viewed that. So a lot of this is digital content creation that we use for the brand as well. There's a great fan experience because it's an open paddock environment. As you can see behind me, there's fans walking around, going everywhere. We offer hospitality to guests as well. But it's really a different feel. And then when you get the digital portion put in there as well, you get a entirely different segment of the market. And these drivers, like Tanner Faust, for example, he'll draw a huge crowd line here at our local dealership for an autograph signing session. He'll also draw a huge attention online when he posts something as well.
Okay, well, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Clark Campbell, Volkswagen Experiential Marketing. Thanks for being in Fair Park.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.